Hello, welcome to day 20 of our Bible Made Easy for Kids reading by Dave Schraler. It is day 19 of Lent, and before we start today, I would just like to say that I hope everybody has gotten the book. If you have not, this is what it looks like. Let me know in the comments if you have not gotten the book yet, so we can go back to pages. I just think that everybody that's watching has a book. But today, we are going to be starting on page 165, and I would like it if all of you don't have to, but if you want to, just listen. If not, you can read along with us. Okay? Solomon, the wisest man. David hands his reign over to Solomon. 1 Kings 2, 1 through 12. When the time of David's death came near, he gave orders to his son Solomon, saying, "Be strong and take note of what the Lord expects of you. Walk in his ways and obey his commands so that he will keep his promise to me." Then David died, having ruled over Israel for 40 years, and Solomon became the king of Israel. Solomon asked for wisdom. 1 Kings 3, 4 through 15. One night the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream. "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." The Lord said to him. Solomon answered, "You have shown your faithful love to my father David, and now you have made my king You have made me king in my father's palace or place. But I am like a child, and I do not know how to carry out my duties as a king. What I ask is that you would give your servant a heart that is able to lead your people and to know right from wrong." The Lord was pleased that Solomon asked for wisdom to lead his people, and said, "Because you have asked for this, and have not asked for a long life or for riches, I will give you what you have asked for. I will give you a wise heart like no one else has ever had or will ever have. And I will also give you what you did not ask for, riches and honor." So far, Solomon has proven to be a wise king, not only from the wisdom that he asked for, but knowing that he's not able to carry out every earthly king's duty on his own without wisdom. And it's just very mature for him. Solomon's wisdom in action. 1 Kings 3:16-28. One day, two women came and stood before Solomon. One of them said, "We live in the same house, and we both have newborn babies. During the night, this woman's son died. So she got up, and while I was asleep, took my son from my side and laid her dead baby next to me. The next morning, when I looked at my baby in the morning light, I saw that it was not my son." But the other woman said, "No, the living baby is my son, the dead one is yours." They carried on arguing in front of the king until he stopped them. "Bring me a sword," he said. And then he ordered that the living child be cut in half. The mother of the living child was filled with pity and said, "Please don't kill him. Give the baby to her." But the other woman wanted the baby killed. Then Solomon said, "Give the baby to the woman who wants the baby to live. She is the mother." When the people of Israel heard about Solomon's wise decisions, they respected him as a king, for they saw that he had been given special wisdom from God. The Queen of Sheba visits Solomon. 1 Kings 10. When the Queen of Sheba heard about Solomon's fame and about how he honored the Lord, she came to test him with hard questions. She arrived in Jerusalem with many camels loaded with spices, gold, and precious stones. The queen talked about Solomon, about the many things she had on her mind, and Solomon answered all her questions. Nothing was too hard for the king to explain to her. The queen was amazed and very pleased. She gave Solomon the loads of gifts she had brought. Then she returned to her own country. That was page 166. We are now on page 167. Words of wisdom. Wise advice from the book of Proverbs. Love. Proverbs 3:3. Let love and faithfulness be a part of you. Love covers every wrong. Proverbs 10:12. Those who love discipline love to learn. Proverbs 12:1. Accepting discipline leads to life. Proverbs 10:17. Hard work leads to excuse me. Hard work leads to a reward. The one who works with excellence serves kings. Proverbs 14:23 and Proverbs 22:29. Kindness brings blessings and keeps away trouble. Proverbs 11:17. Kindness to the poor will be rewarded. Proverbs 19:17. A person who gossips breaks up friendships. Proverbs 16:28. Without gossip, a quarrel soon ends. Proverbs 26:20. Quarreling. Pride leads to quarrels. The wise take advice. Proverbs 13:10. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Proverbs 23. Sin. The bad habits of sin get one all tangled up. Proverbs 5:22. The hearts of the proud and snobbish are sinful. Proverbs 21:4. Enemies. Do not be happy when your enemy falls. Proverbs 24:17. If your enemy is hungry, give him food. Proverbs 25:21. Riches and wealth. Do not wear yourself out to become rich. Money and things won't last forever. Proverbs 23:4 and Proverbs 27:24. The temple is built. Solomon builds the temple. 4 years after Solomon became the king of Israel, he started building the temple, the house of the Lord. The temple walls were built with big blocks of stone that were chiseled to the right shape and size. This was done far away so that no noise from hammers and other tools would be heard at the temple site. On the inside, the walls and ceiling were covered with cedar wood boards so that no stone could be seen. The inner room, where the ark of the Lord would go, was covered with pure gold. The ark is brought to the temple. 1 Kings 8. When the temple was built, Solomon called together the elders and leaders of the tribes. Then the priests and Levites brought the ark of the Lord, together with the holy tent and all the vessels they had used before they entered the promised land. The ark with the stone tablets that had the commandments was placed in the inner room. As the priests left the holy place, the clouds of God's presence filled the temple. Then Solomon stood in front of the altar of the Lord and dedicated the temple to the Lord in a prayer. See 1 Kings 8:15 through 53. How long did it take to build the temple? See 1 Kings 6:38. That's upside. Ruth, Samuel, Kings. Two, 3, 7, 5, 6, 28. In the 11th year, in the month of Bull, 8th month, the temple was finished in all its details according to its specifications. He had spent 7 years building it. It took 7 years to build the temple. Israel rebels against the king. Solomon dies. 1 King 11:41 through 43. Solomon reigned in Jerusalem as king over all of Israel for 40 years. Then Solomon died and was buried near the place where his father David was buried. Solomon's son, Rehoboam, was in line to be the next king. The people rebel. The nation of Israel is split. 1 Kings 12. Jeroboam, who had been put in charge of Solomon's workers, wanted to become king. Solomon had found out about this and wanted to kill him, so Jeroboam fled to Egypt. When Jeroboam heard that Solomon was dead and that Rehoboam, his son, was to be made king, he returned to Jerusalem. Meanwhile, the people of Israel complained about Rehoboam about the harsh way in which his father had treated them. But Rehoboam did not take the elders' advice when they told him to listen to the people and treat them better than Solomon had. So the people of Israel rebelled against Rehoboam and made Jeroboam king of Israel. Only the tribe of Judah was loyal to Rehoboam and did not turn against him. Meanwhile, Jeroboam had realized that if his people went to offer sacrifices at the temple in Jerusalem where Rehoboam reigned, they might change their minds and become loyal to him again. So Jeroboam made golden calves and built temples, one in Bethel and the other in Dan. Then he said to the people, "It is too much trouble for you to go to Jerusalem. Here are your gods." And that is how Jeroboam led the people away from God. So the nation of Israel was divided. Jeroboam ruled over 10 tribes in the north, and Rehoboam ruled over 2 tribes, Judah and Benjamin, in the south. Sorry. Kings of Israel. Here is a list of all the kings of Israel and Judah. Some kings honored the Lord, but many did evil in the eyes of the Lord. Kings of Israel, while it was united, before the split. King Saul, type of king, bad, reigned 40 years. Prophets at the time, Samuel. Bible reference, 1 Samuel 9:31, or Bible reference. King David. Type of king, godly. Years reigned, 40. Prophets at the time, Nathan. 2 Samuel is the Bible reference. Third king, Solomon. Type of king, mixed. Years reigned, 44. Prophets at the time, there was no prophet. Bible reference, 1 Kings 2:11. Kings of Israel, the northern kingdom. Jeroboam the first. Type of king, evil. Reigned 22 years. Prophets at the time, none. Bible reference, 1 Kings 12 through 14. First Kings 12 through 14, and then 1 Kings 15, 1 Kings 15 through 16. Basically, it goes 1 Kings 12 through 22 for these next few before the prophet shows up. Nadab, evil, 2 years of reigning and no prophet. Baasha, evil, 24 years, no prophets. Elah, evil, 2 years, no prophet. Wait, did I? Yes, I think I just did that one. Sorry. Zimri, evil, reigned 7 days. He reigned a week. No prophets. Tibni, evil, 7 years. Omri, evil, 12 years. Ahab, evil, 22 years. Prophets at the time, Elijah. 1 Kings 16:22. That is when the first prophet showed up. All the way down to Jehosh is Elijah as the prophet. Ahaziah, evil, 2 years. 2 Kings 8 through 9, 22. Jehu, mixed, 28 years. Elisha, 2 Kings 9 through 10. Jehoahaz, evil, 17 years. In 2 Kings 13. Jehoash, 2 Kings 12. Sorry, I'm a little confused. We're on Jeroboam the second. Evil, 41 years. So more than all the... While it was not split. He is 1 year more than those. The prophets at the time are Jonah and Amos. 1 Kings 11:15. Zechariah, evil, 6 months. Hosea, 2 Kings 15. For the next 4 people, it is Hosea and 2 Kings 15. Shalom, evil, 1 month. Menahem, evil, 10 years. Pekahiah, evil, 2 years. Pekah, evil, 20 years. Hosea, evil, reigned 9 years. And this is going to sound really weird. But prophets at the time, Hosea. So they are not the same person. Their names are spelled differently. But Hoshea and Hosea. 2 Kings 15:17.
Hosea?
And then we have the kings of Judah. The southern kingdom. Rehoboam. How did I know? Evil. 17 years. No prophets. 1 King 12 through 14. Abijah. Evil. Reigned 3 years. 1 Kings 15. Asa and Jehoshaphat. They were both godly types of kings. Asa reigned 41 years, and Jehoshaphat reigned 25. there were still no prophets at the time. You can find Asa in 1 Kings 15 and Jehoshaphat in 1 Kings 22. Joram, evil, 8 years. Obadiah, 2 Kings 8 through 9 and 11. Ahaziah, evil, 1 year exactly, and 2 Kings 8. Athaliah, a queen, evil, 7 years. 2 Kings 11. Joash, godly, 40 years. Prophets at the time, Joel. 2 Kings 11 through 12. Amaziah, godly, 29 years. No prophet. 2 Kings 15:3. Isaiah, godly, 52 years. Isaiah, the prophet. 2 Kings 15. Jotham, godly, 16 years. Micah and Isaiah, 2 Kings 15. Ahaz, evil, 16 years. Micah and Isaiah as the prophets. 2 Kings 16. Hezekiah, godly, 29 years. Micah and Isaiah. 2 Kings 18:20. Manasseh, evil, 55. The prophet was Nahum in 2 Kings 21. You can also find Amon. He was evil and reigned 2 years without a prophet in 2 Kings 21 as well. Josiah, godly, 31 years. Zephaniah, 2 Kings 22:23. And this right here, this next person is actually on the kings of Israel as well. As the northern kingdom king, he was also a southern king. Jehoahaz, we will go back to the king of Israel real quick. He was evil and reigned 17 years with Elisha, not Elijah, Elisha, as the prophet. And then when you go back over to kings of Judah, he was evil and reigned for 3 months in Judah. And Jeremiah was the prophet. 2 Kings 23. Jehoiakim, evil, 11 years. Jeremiah, 2 Kings 23:24. Jehoiachin, evil, 3 months. Jeremiah, 2 Kings 24. Zedekiah, evil, 11 years. Ezekiel, that was the prophet. 2 Kings 24-25. We are now done with the kings. Wait. But we will move on to Elijah, the prophet of God, as the last page. Now, real quick, go back into the Bible and search for James 5:17, as it is a question. James 5. Open up to the landing page. Isaiah, so. Back to the front. and look for James real quick. Ezekiel. I'm going to guess it's around Kings, Judges, Ezra, Psalms. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. I'm not able to find it, so I'm going to pause this real quick and get back to you guys.
My own kitty cat, you show me.
Eh.
You show the show kitty.
Okay, so the verse we're looking for is James 5:17. Elijah was a man just like us. He prayed earnestly that it would not rain, and it did not rain on the land for 3.5 years. The answer is 3.5 years. That is how long it did not rain for. This is my mom's Bible, so I try not to mess it up. Three and a half years without rain. It's like a famine.
Not for us. For us, it's kind of a heaven.
This is the last page we will be reading today. No, that one. This one. It is Elijah, the prophet of God. After the nation of Israel had split into two kingdoms, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, many years passed, and Ahab became king of the northern kingdom. Ahab was an evil king. He married Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, a king from an ungodly nation. Ahab set up an altar for the god of Baal and built a temple for Baal in the town of Samaria. He was more evil than any other king before him, and encouraged the people to worship the idols he had set up. At the time, Elijah the prophet went to Ahab and said, "As surely as the God of Israel lives, there will not be any rain for the next few years." Then the Lord said to Elijah, "Leave this place and go east to the other side of the Jordan River. There you will find a stream from which you can drink, and I have ordered ravens to bring you food." So Elisha did what the Lord said. He went to the place the Lord had told him, and the ravens brought him bread and meat every morning and every evening. After a while, the stream dried up, because there had been no rain in the land. Then the Lord said to Elijah, you must go to Zarephath and stay there." So Elijah got up and went to the town of Zarephath, near the city of Sidon, or Sidon. Okay, that was the Bible Made Easy reading. And I will now let my sister do her memory verses.
Just do it to the you.
Okay?
You can see me if I tall it. So, I'm sharpening my pencil right now, so don't know why. Today's Bible verse is, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. John 14:27. You were striking on my pencil, I just sharpened it.
Sorry. This is the picture she drew.
I didn't draw it, I colored it.
Okay, she colored it.
Right. Now back to sharpening.
Thank you all for watching our Bible reading and our verses. I hope you all have a very blessed day, and well, that's it. But I hope you all have a very blessed day.